Hey guys, and welcome back to Cultured Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat. I'm Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by Pepe, and we are back for some more pitches.
Yeah, that's right. It's every 10 episodes by the looks of it, unintentionally, but it pretty much ends up happening that way.
It actually does. We do actually keep track of this, and we've noticed this.
Yeah,
I don't know how many episodes of this far back,
yeah.
but we did notice at some point that it was around every 10 episodes or so.
Yeah. It's all those ones that, like, it's just a fun thing for us to do, like, just a good old time. For those who aren't familiar with what Pitches is, me and Nathan, we pick a bunch of subjects and movie genres or whatever genres it is,
Yep.
put them in a big old random generator, and it spits out two genres and a format. Or it could be a magazine, could be a movie, could be a game.
Yes.
Who knows what it is? But Nathan, what is it this week that we're doing?
This week, we have been tasked with pitching a horror samurai movie.
Yes, it is, funny enough, our second horror movie that we've done for Pitches so far.
Yes. I actually had to double check that we've never done this, by the way, because I was like, I feel like we did this before.
I feel like movie comes up quite a bit, but like we also get TV series as well, which sometimes comes up. It could be a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
But no, we've done a horror movie which is about time travel before, right?
Oh, right.
Was it time travel?
think
It was
so,
time
yeah,
travel,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah. Time travel horror movie. What I mistook it for was when we had the Ninja Noir, I think it was.
Oh god, yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see, because this is a samurai horror movie, so it's kind of like quite close, quite
Yeah.
close in kind of thing. But yeah, I've come up with an idea. I like it's one of those ones when it comes down to pitches. I start with a thing, and then it either ends up being that's really good, or I'm like it ends up absolutely shocking. And I feel like I've written down like pretty much a whole synopsis for this. Like, and when I say synopsis, it's like about 7 paragraphs. So
Jesus. Okay, well then I'll go first.
Yeah, you
'cause
go.
I have not written nearly that much.
Okay, cool.
I was real busy this week, so mine's a little lacking.
Fair.
One rule we did instate, but I'm slacking again this time. I slacked last time, and I slacked this time as well. Supplementary content is allowed if you have time to make it. I did not have time to make it this week.
Yeah.
I literally came up with my idea like yesterday. That's how busy I've been this week.
Yeah, no, this has been a tough one.
So, yeah, man, I hate coming to these without even like a poster or something. I love making those things, but
Like, bro, like it's fine because I've never made supplementary content for my one, so you're absolutely fine. I ain't gonna judge you.
that was my thing, you know. Like I always made it,
Yeah.
and now I'm slacking. I missed 2. Like, bruh.
Oh man.
Can't believe it.
It's fine, mate. It's fine. I ain't judging here. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, my movie is called Blood Ronin.
Oh, that's okay. Cool.
It's set in the Sengoku period, so the Warring States period, and it's about an evil vengeful spirit created by all the hatred and damage caused during all this Warring States time. Every night, the spirit possesses a new host and kills the host's most beloved person.
Ooh.
Samurais are dispatched by the local daimyo to hunt down whatever this is, but they never find anything but the massacre.
Ooh, okay.
That's it.
No.
That's literally everything I have.
No, it's like you got the basis for it, and then it's like, but it sounds quite interesting. Like, so, like it's one of those ones where, like, funny enough, when you've described it that way, I can kind of see it more as like a series. You know what I mean? Like, it is one of those ones where you got like obviously a different person being possessed each time. That for me, that's like a single episode thing.
Could be a series of movies.
Jeez, yeah, there we go.
Franchise.
There he is. Oh my god, yeah.
Give me that check.
Did you like ever have did you ever have like an idea of where the blood rodents come from? Is you have an idea of that, or
Well,
like how did it come about? Or origin story maybe?
Ronin was just because I was like, I I got to tie in samurai somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, even could have done like I guess there's like a yokai thing, and then I'll give you got samurais trying to attack it, so you got like different. Obviously, like they're the people that are trying to save people from the thing, so it could be that.
I was meant to go and research
Yeah.
some sort of yokai, because that's what I thought. I was like,
Yeah,
originally, I was
yeah.
like, some sort of yokai or something. I was like, Japanese folklore is just,
Oh yeah, it's depth.
it's got so much.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah, right? I was like, I could pick almost anything, and then that would have, well, not anything, but I'm sure I could find something
Yeah, you'd be able to tie it in somehow.
had I had the time to do so.
Yeah.
Blood Ronin was just the first thing I thought of today,
Mm-hmm.
because I went back and I was like, that's all I wrote? That's all I came up with? And then I was like, I haven't even got a title. And then I was like, Blood Ronin.
Okay, that's at least it's not the same title as mine, though. Let's put it that way. But no, like I do like the idea of it, because it's like it kind of brings that a little bit of mystery in it as well.
Yes.
Because obviously people turn up and be like, oh, try and find, but like if there's no evidence apart, like you'd think like there'd probably be someone there that kind of links, like a detective in some way. The kind of links that all these kind of things are similar somehow, but you don't know like how.
Yeah.
Because it could just be like, like the first few would just be, oh, it's a murder, and that's all it is. It's just this guy gone crazy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when I said it possesses a new host,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, I'd imagine it's a vengeful spirit. It doesn't care. It doesn't pick based off of any one specific whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a child. It could be a pensioner. It could be the daimyo, for all I fucking care. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
it can go as high or as low as it needs to, as long as it is fulfilling its need for revenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sounds like a good like basis and idea.
I kind of like took inspiration from like I don't watch a lot of horror films, but like I've heard like reviews of films. I imagine sort of like I took inspiration from like It Follows, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like kind of just like
like a thing, like this kind of thing that causes a horror but like passes on to like a new person, so it's not always the same person that deals with this thing.
You could always have like, if you do like a series of movies as well, there's like that one person that kind of survives at the end of the first one, and then they're linked in the second one. Like, I've played these games before. It's linking it back to the last episode,
Jeez.
I've seen this Ronin before.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you kind of.
Well, I mean, the Ronin could be someone who survived, or was one of the samurai and then was disillusioned. Like, honestly, I'd imagine it was like probably some random monk who ends up figuring out what it is, because it's like a spiritual thing in it. So it's like samurai's probably not going to figure it out, but a monk who's randomly just brought in like, hey, can you check what's going on here? And then it's like, oh my god, it's the vengeful spirit of whatever town.
Obviously you got it in that time as well. Like, I think that's one thing when you get like a lot of horror films as well. Like if you look at stuff like Nosferatu, which released recently, it's obviously the tale of like a vampire, and like one of the first vampires and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's like said old time Germany then.
Yeah,
and like you never really see that much like horror in Japan. Well, in the West anyway. I'm gonna say this as someone that hasn't watched a lot of Japanese horror, bear in mind.
Yeah,
I only know the ones like the big ones, like The Ring and like all those kind of original Japanese ones. So like the big ones I know, but like I know you don't really see much that's like set like olden times horror. You know what I mean? Like you've described there, that setting feels quite unique as well, I'd say. To me, it feels unique. There's probably someone's probably gonna be out there saying, actually, there's this, and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. But
well, I mean, we didn't know.
In the West, it feels unique.
Yeah, it's because it's samurai, and I was like, well, there's only a couple of like time periods where samurai were like super like prevalent in Japan.
Yeah.
And I was like, Sengoku period is one of those.
Yeah.
Because it's like war in states.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, next was like Edo period, but like Edo is where it started to become more political and stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than just straight up like people are fighting constantly.
Yeah. You usually got your time periods down there as well. I think thinking about my pitch
I did
now,
one thing right.
Yeah. thinking about my pitch, I think that's something I'm actually lacking. It's very loose in those senses.
Yeah, can't wait to hear about the samurai in New York that's evil with
Yeah.
horror.
There's no New York in this one. I've been slacking on New York. There's no New York.
Franconi's back and he's a samurai now.
Not gonna lie to you, when the idea of a samurai horror came in, the idea of like an oni did pop up at one point. I was like, can I tie this in? Like, because like you said, like you wanted to tie it to some kind of yokai kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, could I do like a oni? Like, can I do like an oni pun somewhere? Like, do I make the title like oni related? Like, or is it something? But I was like, I still was like trying to finish up ideas today with it, and I was trying to flesh it out. And then, like, I was like, I don't have time for this kind of thing. And even my title. Is there anything else you want to add on your one before I start moving on to mine? I want to, yeah.
No. I mean, I already started trying to predict based off of like previously established like tropes from pitches. So like, I'm done with mine, bro.
There's certain bits, okay, like because you've said some things which I'm like, fuck, I actually haven't included anything like that in mine.
Mhm.
Like so, like obviously I said I've written like about 7 paragraphs of this thing, and then it's only occurred to me right this minute that I didn't actually change the title from when I first started writing ideas.
What?
So the the title for this is called Katana.
Uh-huh.
But like I'm kind of I kind of not too fussed about it because kind of working title, but also it is about the katana in a way,
Oh my god.
and it is kind of going for like like the like movies like they had the one word ones like The Ring, or like there's
Yeah.
like there's Stephen King one coming out, The Monkey and stuff like that, like all those like kind of one word titles. I was like that works. Katana works for a Western audience. I'm picturing this being in like Western cinemas, bear in mind. So
Yeah, most people know what katana is.
yeah, like I'd be like, oh okay, katana. Hopefully it doesn't rip off any other random thing. But let me clear my throat because I feel like if I'm not doing a lot of talking, I'm gonna do a lot of summarizing. So let me just take a
Okay. I can't wait to hear about katana.
right. Katana. Long ago in feudal Japan, again, I didn't get my timings, so I just put feudal Japan is what I've put down.
Mm-hmm.
There was a mighty samurai warrior. He was known far and wide for his skills.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Mitsurugi Yosuke. Usually when I do these things, I go in a random name generator. Mitsurugi I know is a samurai in Soul Calibur, so I stole that, and Yosuke is just a name I came up with. So there's that as well.
Oh, it wasn't after your best friend in Persona 4? Damn.
No. I mean, subconsciously it might have been. One day, Mitsurugi is sent to a quiet village deep in the mountains by the shogun to deliver a message. The mountains are a treacherous place, so this job is required, like a certain skill set is needed for this.
Mm-hmm.
However, once he arrives at the village, he finds that there's very little there apart from like a few travelers and vagabonds. There's still like a village there, but it feels like it's been taken over in a way.
Uh-huh.
The villagers, however, they're welcoming. They assure him that it's like, you've reached your destination. Thank you for coming. You must be tired though. Come round. Our mayor's not here. He's on patrol at the moment, but we'll take you in. In the morning, you can meet him. It's all good. Just have a rest. Like, you're obviously knackered from getting here. Those words, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Ancient Japanese people. Yeah, you must be knackered, mate. Have a nap.
Yeah,
Don't
go
worry
on.
about it.
Go in little, go and travel to the,
Go have a kip.
go to the pub, mate. Go to the pub, have yourself a lager. So he's like, oh, thank God I can actually rest. So he's unaware that the villager are actually scheming something, however. Later on, he wakes up in the middle of the night. He's groggy and unaware of his surroundings. As he attempts to reach for his sword, he realizes that his arms and legs have been tied to the bed. He comes aware he's actually seen like all the villagers surrounding him. There's loads of shadows standing over him. There's a lot of chanting. There's a lot of strange language going. He doesn't recognize it. As he tries to like move around, try to escape a little bit, he notices that his katana, his prized possession, is covered in animal blood and it's surrounded by body parts and remains and stuff like that.
Ooh.
He's struggling to break free. He's trying to do that. He's screaming, but obviously no one's coming to help. He's in the mountains. He's in this desert thing, and like it's the ritual's already begun basically.
Uh-huh.
As the chanting grows louder, this shaman unsheathes his katana and plunges it straight into Mitsurugi's chest, basically. Like a lot of stuff there, and pours a strange liquid into his mouth. As Mitsurugi is passing away, you think like, he's seeing things. There's loads of shadows everywhere, and what the ritual has done has bound his soul to the katana, so his soul can't move on to the afterlife. It's bound to this thing, and he wants to move on, but he's not allowed to. So now Mitsurugi is a vengeful spirit in a cursed sword. cut to modern day, and a team of explorers, archaeologists, and historians have caught wind of a buried settlement in the Japanese mountains. They begin their journey to find the settlement and eventually stumble upon what they believe to be the ancient thing. There's a lot of rubble. There's a lot of like body parts everywhere. So obviously there's something up here. As they dig and explore what they find, they quickly deduce that there's witchcraft going on, and there's obviously a lot of stuff that's been like a bit fucky. They might use that term. Fucky might be the term that they use as well.
What a very technical term, this fucky.
Johnson, what's going on here? Do we know what's going on? Yeah, mate, it's a bit fucky.
Sir, we're getting unreasonably high readings of fucky.
The fucky meter is off the charts.
Oh my god, it's a 10 on the fucky chart.
I feel like that needs to be a 10 on the God damn it. I hate that this. I still got a few more paragraphs to go still. So as the team explore around the village, they find an old wooden box sealed tightly in chains and rope. Loads of these kind of like water things going on. There's obviously something in this box. The team are eager to get in, see what's inside, and crack it open. What's inside? It's the katana. Ooh. Ooh.
Fucky.
It's like ignore that for a second. The katana is like almost in pristine condition, apart from a few cobwebs and stuff, and like a little bit of dust. But regardless, it still looks amazing. It's like looks freaking incredible, as you would if it's a sword. One of the explorers, I haven't got a name for him at the moment. I've just called him Steve.
Okay.
It's just Steve. First name that came to mind. As he picks up the sword, he tries to unsheath it, and he feels a pain in his right hand as if he's like been bitten by something. Like so immediately he's like, ah. After everyone has a closer look at the blade, the historians point out that it belonged to Mitsurugi Yosuke, who mysteriously vanished during his mission, never seen again, never heard from. They knew that obviously he's a famous samurai, but his disappearance unknown. But immediately, Steve, who unsheathed the sword, becomes strangely possessive over it immediately. He's like, even though they're like, oh, can I take a look at it? He's like, no, I found it. It's my sword. I get to look after it. And although like the team are reluctant to let him keep it on him, they're like, look, we found this thing. Fine, you keep hold of it until we get back down the mountain. But it's getting late, and they need to make up camp, so they're gonna stay in this little villagey rubble area. So they're just gonna set up camp now. Steve is infatuated with the blade and kind of wants to test it out. And he goes around, he brings two of the other explorers with him just to like have a wander around. Like they sneak off into the woods and try and like just maybe slice up a few things, see what the blade is gonna do.
Okay.
Bear in mind, Steve is an explorer, he's not an archaeologist or a historian, so I think he's gonna have less care for this than like some of the others would, which is why they're also sneaking out. Be quite ironically, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna just slice up a few things as a archaeologist. As he swings more and more, he becomes a lot more proficient with the blade, but he also becomes a lot more violent with it. And the two explorers are like, okay, cool, we've seen what we can do, let's head back. But Steve is getting a lot more aggravated and irritated. He starts a fight from the explorers, and it ends up with him killing his mate. And the other one's like, whoa, what the hell? And Steve threatens the other one, look, if you tell anyone about this, you're gonna get the exact same experience as him, you're gonna die as well. So the other one just keeps quiet about it. Obviously there's a lot of stuff there, which is like, they go back to camp. Obviously this this teammate is quite wary of Steve. Steve's already like getting a bit 10 on the fucky meter, as they say. As they return, they obviously lied at the other teammate's gone off somewhere. They didn't see where he went, but he's off. He's going to do something else, so they lie. But obviously tensions are rising as the night goes on. Steve is getting a bit more fucky. You could say that he's turning into a different kind of person. You could say that he's possessed in a way. And that is as much as I've got written down.
Okay, I see.
Basically, it turns into a possession slasher film, basically, where Steve is basically taken over by the vengeful spirit of Mitsurugi. And it's all he's basically going around just attacking the campers, like all the campmates.
The campers.
Campers. I've demoted them straight away. It's not, but like like when like you get those slasher. I mean, that's where I've tied in like with the slasher movie already. Is like it's always at a camp somewhere. It's a log cabin. It's like they're camping. So that's where that's immediate come from. But yeah, that is the idea of katana.
Interesting. First and foremost, I'm really glad I didn't go with my first idea.
Oh yeah,
because I also was thinking of Cursed Blade.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really glad I didn't do that.
That's good. We've always been slightly off. We've always said, there's gonna be one day where we write something down the same way. There's some occasions where it's like slightly off, so ever so slightly.
Not today. Legit, I was gonna go Cursed Blade, and I was like, no. I was like, I've seen that done too many times, me personally. So I was like, I want to do something different. I want to come up with another idea.
That's cool, yeah.
But I like it. It's cool to get some of the backstory for the sword and like actually see it, because when you think of these kind of things, normally there would have been like most of the film where you probably didn't see that, or you saw it in little flashbacks, or like someone just had an exposition dump where they're like, oh, that's the cursed blade of Mitsurugi Yosuke.
Yeah.
And it's just like in a fucking like clinical room or some shit.
Yeah.
And they're just like talking about the thing, and you're just like, yeah, okay, but like you could show me. So like I like that you've done that, because that feels different.
I wanted to kind of have that like kind of like two-part at least like not first act in a way, but like at least get that setup of it, like at least you know like where this has come from straight away, and then it's like so like I don't know, some filmmakers might be like, look, this kills the pace immediately or something like that. Or like at least that could happen in the first 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Like that whole section there could be like a quick and easy thing.
Yeah.
Or it could be spread out throughout the film, you know what I mean? But I felt like in this pitch particular, I felt like that bit was necessary to bring up, at least because you got that kind of like backstory there.
I just had a thought. It probably makes it a bit clunky and makes things a bit too disjointed, but like get a little bit more flashback backstory every time you kill someone.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. That's what I think. Like having it in a pacing way in a film, the way that I've written it down there probably wouldn't work. I think there'd be a lot of people who'd be like, look, why is it like two separate parts? You've introduced this bit and you've taken us somewhere completely different straight away.
Yeah,
because obviously some films like you need to get the main character in there straight away or whatever, and it's all that kind of stuff. So like
yeah, you're right. It probably would be like shots of them making their way to the mountains, and then like probably excavating a little bit, then probably a bit of exposition, and then like the flashback bit.
Yeah.
And then it's like kicks off in the main action where Steve, which I think you missed out on a great chance there, Pepe, for the reference. Should have been Frank. I'm just saying.
Because Frank Oni, who has an eye for directing.
Yep, and swords.
No,
it's okay. It's Frank Oni Jr., you know? It's just his son, the explorer.
Frank Oni Jr. Or like Frank Oni the second.
Yeah, exactly. It's the next Frank Oni.
But it's like kind of like I think the way you'd probably work in like in a film making kind of way, I guess you'd want to have maybe it's seen from Steve's perspective, where like he obviously when he gets the sword, obviously he starts getting flashbacks and that kind of thing, obviously like because it's possessed by Mitsurugi arguably.
Yeah.
Or like it could be a different thing, who knows? Like it kind of like could like
that's why I imagined it was like after every kill, because it's kind of like it feels like that kind of story where it's like the more blood you draw with the sword, the more powerful the influence of the sword becomes, and then it's like, oh, now like it's leaking into my brain.
Yeah, or it's like that's a good thing about having the location the same as the past as well, because obviously he'll probably have flashbacks at certain points.
Yeah, the longer you stay there, either way, like the longer you're there, the influence, like either way, it's like it's solid though. It's solid. Like I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, it kind of like carries a lot of influence from I think a few other horror movies I've seen over the years a little bit. Like I think as I mentioned before, Nosferatu kind of features a kind of similar concepts a little bit, because it's a guy that goes and like has to do a job and like get fucking letter sign from a guy in a massive castle in fucking Transylvania or wherever the fuck it was. So like, and then it's that, so it kind of, but then that comes over back to Germany. So there's a lot of stuff there, which is a lot kind of influenced it a little bit, but also with obviously the samurai themes and a lot of possession stuff. So yeah, that's that actually like was a lot shorter me reading out than I thought it was, because you can probably see here, Dave, there's like freaking like loads.
That's
of
a lot. Yeah, there was actually quite a lot. He scored like 4 times.
Yeah, it's quite a bit there, and I think it's weird because I ripped most of that today. I had the idea in mind, and it's like I had like a coffee or something. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep writing, and I was like, oh, okay, I should actually write that as well. That'd be a cool thing. And, oh, I should write that as well, and it just kept going. And then that was that was one of the ones.
The funny thing is, like in terms of an actual film, that's probably like the first third.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, because like that's like
it might be like Act 1 and maybe half of Act 2.
Oh, 100%, yeah, because like he's only just had his first kill there, like at the end of that.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, he's got like about seven or so more people to go through.
Yeah.
And he has one guy that knows that he's killing people, like, or killed someone, and there's obviously gonna get more from there. So it's like, yeah, that's that's that, man.
I find it hilarious that we both pitch things that technically have like franchise potential, you know, like
yeah,
because it's a possessed sword, you can also be like, oh well, then something happened, Steve died.
Yeah.
But then somebody else found the sword.
Yeah.
And they're possessed.
Passes it over.
And it's like Katana 2.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Yeah. Like, I have no idea how that film's going to end either. So, like, yeah, very, very open suggestions there, I guess. But one thing that crossed my mind when I was writing that, especially with possessed swords, is that you always get that. Watching a lot of anime, you always get that kind of inkling, like, wait, what actually sets him apart? Like, what makes him a vengeful spirit? I had to get the vengeful in there because I had to definitely write that he wants to move on to the afterlife. I had to give him that motivation because, you know, sometimes, like, I'm just gonna say in some animes, you get like that kind of moment where it's like, oh no, I'm trapped in this sword, and then it's like, hey, but I'll help you out, I'll train you, like, so like a Midamaru kind of vibe, kind of like.
Could have been worse. You could have written a story that's like, I got reincarnated into this new world as a cursed blade.
Yeah, that is like, I could make an isekai horror. It also is like, now that I'm thinking about it now, I finished watching Shaman King today as well. So it kind of feels like a little bit of that kind of feels like, wait, hold on, was I influenced a little bit while I was writing this? Quite possibly.
Well, I mean, tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, I can Nosferatu meets Shaman King is what I've kind of written there. Oh, man. But, yeah.
Cannot believe how close we got again to having the same premise.
I mean, that's like one of the things you immediately go for, though, isn't it? When it comes down to some,
Yeah.
I like the mystery of your one because you've got like what you've got there is like, oh, something's happened, and then no one can explain it, and it's just a massacre. There's no like evidence, obviously, and you're in that era where, like, in terms of a weapon, you don't need to have like oh, he has a certain sword or whatever. It's just like everyone will have a weapon. Like, it's freaking samurai everywhere. So yeah.
Well, everyone has a weapon, or it's just the fucking like kitchen knife or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and like you said, it could be like grandma, your kid, or whatever. So like, it could be like
be anyone and everyone,
and because it's the loved one as well. That's it. It's like, yeah,
their most beloved person.
I just go with an idea, right, where it's like this guy's having an affair, and obviously it kills the person he loves.
That's what I was also thinking.
And this woman's like, oh my god, you've been possessed or whatever, you're gonna kill me. And then he doesn't end up killing her, and then it's like, yo, he loves his mistress more than his wife. Wow.
That's the other thing, isn't it? It's like, that was my thought for that specifically. Is just like, all I said was most beloved person.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean anyone in your family.
Yeah.
Or even any of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck knows.
Yeah.
It could just be some random person.
God.
To everyone who knows you that don't know, that's just a random person, you know, like just someone completely never before part of your life as far as they knew.
Part of the franchise as well. You could have like someone in a long distance relationship and they've been possessed. They have to travel all the way over. But obviously,
right,
that's the one thing. So that means that like I was gonna say only the Ronin has got to like travel from like Kyoto to Tokyo or whatever. But obviously it's like he's possessed, so it's also like
yeah,
just travels around. all over the place. That could be an interesting thing.
I mean, there's layers to both of these films. Like,
Yeah.
it's like for Katana, you could also like, I mean, what Steve could travel, or whoever takes up the sword
Yeah.
at any point, like. Not even be from Japan. They could be from fucking, I don't know, like Canada or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Like obviously, like you can kind of imagine. Oh, the katana's like suddenly in a museum somewhere, and then it's like
I didn't want to go for the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he could have, whoever took it could
Yeah.
put it in the British Museum.
Like imagine if Night at the Museum, right? And it's Ben Stiller, but he has like a possessor.
Ben Stiller and the sword's just like, Ben, pick me up and kill someone. Do it.
I like that we've gone for the actor's name there as well.
Yeah.
It's like, no, my name's different in this film. It's not Ben. It's like Ben.
Ben, I don't care, Ben.
My name's not Ben. Ben, kill him, Ben.
And just all the just other exhibits are like, I ignore him. That's just old Yosuke.
Yeah, oh, Yosuke.
Ben, pick me up and kill something. Ben.
It's pretty fucky, Ben. It's a 10 on the fucky scale.
10 on the fucky chart, Ben.
It's time to get fucky, Ben. Oh no, that sounds a bit weirder.
Yeah, that sounds like a different film.
But I have pretty two solid ideas. I quite like both of those, to be fair. Moving swiftly on from
yeah, from that, yeah, pretend nothing ever happened there.
But I guess we'll wrap it up there before it gets any more. It starts saying any more shit.
Yeah, before we get any further down that rabbit hole.
Let us know what you thought about our pitches below, guys. I'd love to hear from you. If you got a picture, go and send it through as well. Why not? Make it as fucky as you like. Not that way. Anyway, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Culture Boys videos. Click the links in our description. We have our podcast platforms down there. And we will see you guys next time for another Culture Boys episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.